Hi guys, today I'm gonna talk about how to create a custom number format in Excel. So before going to that, we need to understand Excel number format. So a Excel number format consists of 4 sections of codes separated by semicolon, which is in this order, that is positive number, negative number, 0 and a text format. So here's an example of a custom Excel format code. So the first one is a format for a positive number, the second one is a format for a negative, third one is for zeros, and fourth one is a format for text values. So here the first one displays 2 decimal places and a thousand separator. The second one is the same for positive numbers, but it is enclosed within the parenthesis. The third one, you say wherever the 0, replace it with the dash. The fourth format is for text values, which displays the text in magenta font color. So these are some of the Excel formatting rules. The first one is a custom Excel number format changes only the visual representation. That means how a value is displayed in a cell. That is, the underlying value stored in the cell is not changed. The second is when you are customizing a built-in Excel format, a copy of that format is created. It means that the original format cannot be changed or deleted. Third one, Excel custom number format does not have to include all the 4 sections. So suppose if a custom format contains just one section, then the format will be applied to all number types only. That is positive number, negative number and zeros. So suppose if your format includes 2 sections, the first section is used for positive numbers and zeros, and the second section is used for negative numbers. A custom format is applied to text values only if it has 4 sections. To apply the default Excel format for any of the middle section, so you can just type general instead of the corresponding format code. So for example, if you want to display dashes instead of 0, then you can use this format general. You're telling the positive number should be general, negative number should be general, but 0 should be displaying as 0, and the format of text also should be general. And then the sixth rule is to hide a certain value type, skip the code section and only type the semicolon. That means suppose if you want to hide negative values and if you want to add if you want to add zeros, if you want to hide zeros, then this is one of the format you can use. That is the positive numbers general format. The negative you're not giving any value, the positive and the 0 also you're not giving any value, and the text format will be general. So this will hide your 0 and negative values. Next is to delete a custom format number. Open the format cell dialog box, delete custom in category list, find the format you want to delete in the type list and select the delete button. This I'll show you in Excel. Just go here, go here and go to custom. So here's any random custom thing will get delete, will be highlighted, delete. Okay, that's all. Your custom format number will be deleted. So next we're going to see about some of the codes which was used in formatting and their explanation. So first is 0. It gives Here description is digital placeholder that displays insignificant zeros. Let's take an example. Suppose I'm giving a format hash point 00. Here it displays up to 2 decimal places. So just in case I type 5.5 and I do the format for this as custom format .00. So this gives insignificant zeros, means it gives zeros which is not necessary. 5.5 and 5.50 is the same. So the second one, hash, this is a digital placeholder that represents optional digit and does not display extra zeros. That is, let me give an example again. Suppose I do a format for hash point hash. This is your format which displays two decimal places. So suppose I type 5.5 and I'll give the format, I'll custom format it and give hash point hash. See here, it does not give me an extra zero. I'll repeat the same thing with another example with 5.55. Sorry, 555. So it rounds it off and gives you 5.56. So this is a note. If a number does not need a certain digit, it won't be displayed for hash. So next is the question mark, digital placeholder that leaves a space for significant zeros on either side of the decimal point but does not display them. It is often used to align numbers in a column by decimal point. So let's take a format example. Here it will display maximum of 3 decimal places and align number in a column by decimal point. So let's take an example. Custom and give this format. See here, it rounds up and gives you only 3 decimal places. And @ is used for text. So suppose you want your fourth section is a text, so I'll give general semicolon general semicolon general, and then I say my text should be in red. So I'll give an example. Go to format, go to custom, then type this and then say OK. See, your text will become red in color. So this is an example for format, and what this format actually does, it's input value, and when you give the format, how Excel displays the result. So these are some of the Excel formatting tips and guidelines. You have the different codes used in the formatting and their description. So let's see how to control the number of decimal places. We all know the decimal point is represented by a dot, and the required number of decimal places is defined by 0. So let's take an example. 0 or ash displays the nearest integer, 0.0 or ash point 0 displays 1 decimal place, 0.00 or ash point 00 displays 2 decimal places, and it goes on. So here the main difference between 0 and ash. Let's take an example. Before we go here, you should know that ash always should be greater than 1 and not less than 1. So suppose let's take an example 0.25, and you're changing the format code to ash.00. It will display only 0.25 because the left hand side is less than 1. Whereas if you do the same format code, if you do the same number with 0.00 with a different format code, it will give you 0.25. 0.25 I mean. So this is an example for how to control the number of decimal places. This is the general format. These are the different format codes, and this is the result of how Excel displays for each of these format codes. So next we're going to see how to show a 1000 separator in a format code. So we all know that to create an Excel custom format with 1000 separators, you have commas included. So example is ash comma triple ash displays 1000 separator and no decimal values, whereas ash comma double ash 0.00 displays 1000 separator and 2 decimal places. Let's see an example. See here, this is a general format. This is after the 1000 separator and 1000 separators with 2 decimal places. This is your display of output display after the format code. So next we're going to talk about rounding numbers by thousand, millions, etc. So we all know that Excel separates 1000 by commas. So if a digit is followed by a comma, then it's 1000. If a digit is followed by 2 consecutive commas, then it is a million. So this is an example for rounding numbers by thousand, million, etc. This is the general format. This is the format code. The first 3 are for 1000, the last one is for million. So this is how it get displayed after the result, after the format code is applied to a general format. So next we are going to talk about text and spacing in custom formatting. So here if you want to display both text and numbers in a cell, to add a single character you use a backslash, and to add a string you use double quotation. So suppose you want to indicate that numbers are rounded by thousand and million, so you can add backslash k and backslash m to the code as shown here. So if you want the numbers and the characters separately, then you can include a space between the comma and the backslash. So here's an example which shows the general format, and then which is preceded by K for thousands, and which is preceded with M for millions. So these are the formats, and this is the result after applying the format to the general format. So these are some of the characters that can be included in the formatting procedure without the use of backslash or quotation marks. So in Excel formatting, even special symbols are accepted, like currency, copyright, trademark, etc. These characters can be entered by parallelly holding Alt key and typing their ANSI codes. Some of the codes are given here. You can type it. So here's an example. To display temperatures, you can use the format code ash, and in double quotes degree Fahrenheit or degree Celsius, and the result will look similar to this. This is another example. Here you can also create a custom format which combines a specific text that typed in a cell. So if you want to combine a text and a value, you can actually use the @ placeholder in the fourth section. So for example, here your positive number will be general, negative will be general, and 0 will be general, and you're telling shipped in will be in your fourth section. You're telling you're enclosing shipped in @ and the format the general format. So your result will be similar to this. So next is including currency symbols in a custom number format. It is very similar to your Fahrenheit and Celsius example. There are some popular currencies which are available directly, otherwise you need to write the code which is given here. And this is an example which I had done. This is the general format. This is after adding a dollar to your format, euro, and so on. So this is how your output is displayed after adding your formatting code. Next, percentages in Excel formatting. It's the same thing again. You just need to include a percentage symbol with your format code. Example, ash percentage. So as a result, the number of 0.25 entered in a cell will appear as 25%. To display percentage with decimal, then you need to specify ash 0.00%. So that time it will give you 0.25%. So display with 2 decimals and 1,000 separator, you need to use this one. So this is an example again I did with general. My general format will be this, and after percentage, ash 0.00%, and 1,000 separator with 2 decimal values. This is how your output should be displaying. So next we are going to talk about fractions in Excel number formatting. We know that a number can be displayed in a variety of ways. So let's see an example. 1.25 can be displayed as 1/4 or 5/5. This is exactly the way Excel displays the fraction, the way you want it to be. So for decimal numbers, you need to include / in your format code and separate an integer part with a space. So this is how your format should look. Ash space ash divided by ash. This is for 1 digit, it is for 2 digits, 3 digits, and even for improper fraction. So if you want a specific denominator, then you should supply it with this format code by fixed base fraction. So here's an example which I did. This is your general format. These are the codes I had given. This is how your output should look. Next we're going to see about how to change font color with custom number. So here this is one of the simplest thing you can do, and Excel supports some 8 main colors. 4 I've specified. So let's see how to use this. So example, to leave the default general format for all the types and change only the font color, just use this code green general, that is your positive number will be in green, your negative will be in red, your zeros will be in black, and your text will be in blue. So next we're gonna see how to display zeros as dashes or blanks. So here's an example. This is the general format. So this is the format I'm giving: #.00, #.00 with a bracket enclosed. So the positive should display me this first one, negative should display with an parenthesis enclosed value, and 0 should be 0. Here in the second column, my first number should display with 0.50. Second number again negative should be in parenthesis, and 0 should be null because I've not displayed, I've not specified anything. The third column is positive number should be in general format, negative again general, but here 0 should be displayed with a dash. In the fourth column, the first positive number should be positive, second negative should be negative, the 0 I have not given any value, so it should not display anything, and the text should be general. So next we're going to see how custom number is applied based on your conditions. So usually conditions are given within a square brackets. So let's see an example. All the numbers which is less than 10 should be in red color, and which is greater than 10 should be in green color. So here the condition is within the square brackets. So red, which is less than 10, green, which is greater than 10, and then if you want to specify the format of how it should be displayed, then it should be given like this. So your red less than 10, and this is how your number format should be displayed. Green greater than 10, and the number format. So here's an simple example. General, this is your general format, and this is after the format you've given, the output after formatting. So here's another example where we have both numbers and text, and you can make a conditional format to show a noun in a singular or a plural depending on the number. For example, you say if it is equal to 1, you give me mile. If it is more than 1, give me miles. So here's an example: 3.5 in decimal, it will give you 3.5 miles. But if you take this number into fraction, the format will change to this. That is equal to 1 question mark mile ash question mark divided by question mark mile. So this is a format. This is an example where the general format is this is your decimal format, and this is your fractional format, and this is how your output should display.